I have got such a treat for y'all today, and I hope that you're going to appreciate it as much as I appreciated it when my grandmother Paula shared her recipe for red velvet cake with me. I've got all my stuff here, but before we get started, y'all, I want to just remind you to be sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel and just click that little notification bell, and that way I will be able to let you know that there's an announcement, a video or something. So that's easy. Okay, this cake recipe calls for 2 eggs. So I've got them in my bowl and I've beaten them. And now I'm gonna add the sugar and beat that. And remember what I said a few days ago. I think, you know, the link to this recipe is in the description. So if I don't tell you exact, you can still get them. Okay, I've gotten our sugar and our eggs mixed up real well. Now I'm gonna add cocoa. And the cocoa is really what sets it apart from a vanilla cake or a chocolate cake. That's what makes it a red velvet. So the recipe calls for a 2-ounce bottle of red food coloring. I only have a 1-ounce bottle. So I'm gonna squeeze from everything I got in my cabinet that's red. Now I like this food coloring right here. It's real strong. Just that little bit may be enough. All right, now I'm gonna add my 2 sticks of softened butter. It's funny how that little bit of cocoa, you'll be able to taste it in the end results. Whoa, slow down, Paula. Okay, in between your beatings now, you need to scrape the sides of your bowl because you want to make sure everything's incorporated properly. Okay, we're on to the next step of Grandma Paul's red velvet cake. And I've got all the ingredients mixed up. And now I am going to take my flour that I sifted and added salt to, and I have my 1 cup of buttermilk. So I'm going to alternate these 2 ingredients. Always, always start with flour and end with flour. It just makes for a smoother cake. I'm not a scientist. I just know that to be a fact. Y'all, this is a project we've been working on now for a good while. I am so proud to announce that we now have this pure vanilla extract in our stores. And I just love it in the brown bottle. You know, being in a brown bottle, that helps protect it from the sun and any kind of light, and that will keep it nice and strong. So this is in our stores. Where else can they find it?
PaulaDeenShop.com.
PaulaDeenShop.com. And like I said, it's in any of our... Okay, there goes our vanilla. And the last step is I'm gonna add some baking soda to my vinegar. And when that quits foaming, I'm gonna throw it in. Like I said, I'm not a scientist, but I think the vinegar has something to do with the buttermilk. Okay, come on, get mixed up in there. I want to make sure it all gets in there. So if my grandma told me to jump in a fire, I'd probably jump in a fire, y'all. My grandmother said to bake these cake layers in a 350-degree oven in an 8-inch cake pan. So that's what I'm using. And you can see that I took a piece of wax paper. I laid the wax paper underneath the pan, and with my scissors, I marked the size of the circle, because once you have put this much energy in making a cake, the last thing you want it to do is stick. So I'm also going to spray it with a nonstick that also has flour, and I'm going to be using, to make sure my layers are proper, I'm going to use a measuring cup and go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And in no time they'll be in the oven. I cannot tell a lie. I licked the bowl. That red is a dead giveaway, what you're up to. Okay, so I got them measured out the best I could. And so I want to ask y'all, you know, my grandmother's icing is different from most red velvet cakes. So I would love to know about y'all, you know, what has been the norm in your family and just what you do with yours. So let me know. You know, I always love hearing from y'all. I just love it. So all y'all have to do is just answer me in the comments. So the cake pans go in the 350 degree preheated oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, I baked our cakes for 20 minutes and they are perfect. If you're unsure whether your cake is done or not, you can actually feel in the center. And when it starts pulling away from the pan, you know it's done. And see how easy those came out because I took the time to use the wax paper. Ooh, I'll chew that off. So you can see I sprayed more wax paper because when I'm ready to put them together and frost them, I don't want them sticking to the wax paper. So that's it. All right, now this is where I want to hear from y'all because this was my grandmother Paula's recipe for the frosting. And she's the only one that I know of that has done it this way. But just remember, if you want to send me your recipe, you can send it to pauladeen.com, questions@pauladeen.com. And to remind y'all again, the link to this recipe is going to be in the description. You want to make sure that your butter and cream cheese is at room temperature. And I put my marshmallows in the microwave for about, I should have greased my fingers first, for about 22 seconds. Those marshmallows are a sticky business. Yeah, that works a lot better. Right, so in the mixer that goes. I don't know why Grandma just didn't use marshmallow cream. I think that might have been easy. Or maybe they didn't have marshmallow cream when she started making this. The next thing to go in, now that I've got the marshmallows, the butter, and the cream cheese smoothed out, I'm going to add 1 box of confectionate sugar. I'm going to kind of add it slowly. Kenzie, would you get my vanilla flavoring, please? I forgot to, I think I put it up. Good, thank you. You want to put me about a teaspoon in there? That would be great. You don't have to measure, just double it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. I thought you said you couldn't cook. That marshmallow, that melted marshmallow, Grandmama made this extra thick. Now I'm just gonna stir in my coconut and my pecans because I don't want the mixer to beat those up too badly. Now I'm gonna add just a little dollop of the icing to my pan so my cake layers won't slide around. And some people will actually slice the little top off of cakes, but not me. I'm fine with it having a rounded top. I don't want to lose any of my cake. So down goes the first layer. And I want to make sure it's centered in my pan really, really well. That marshmallow. I'm going to be sticking to everything, y'all. Okay, y'all, I put our third and final cake layer up here. And to me, this is the easiest way to frost the cake when you're doing a whole cake. I like to put it around the edge of my top layer and then bring it down. Because when you have an icing like this, that's full of different ingredients, it can be hard to frost. Oh my grandmama. After all these years, I still miss you, but I'm so glad that you filled my mind with wonderful, wonderful memories that I can keep going back to anytime I want to and keep that part of my life alive. And I hope y'all are the same way about your mothers and grandmothers, grandfathers. So if you want to chat about anything, if you got a question or a recipe, all you have to do is send it to questions@pauladeen.com. The triplets are on their way over, so I'm not going to cut the cake right this minute. I'm going to watch little Olivia lose her mind because she walks in my door saying, I want cake. I want cake, Guinea. I know you want cake. You always want cake when you walk in Guinea's house. You always want cake. How are you feeling, Angel?
I wanted this cake.
You wanted that cake?
I wanted that cake. I want this cake.
Unbelievable.
What do you want, Olivia?
I want this.
You want this?
Yeah.
When you came in, you said, Guinea, I want cake.
I want a cake.
Okay, that's what you're gonna get. But Guinea has to handle the knife.
Yes.
Yes, you're not ready to handle a knife yet. Do you know what kind of cake this is, or do you even care?
Yes.
You do care?
It's
What, Millie? Oh, she knows where I keep the soda crackers.
so the crackers.
Look, that cake's red. It's red, baby.
That's delicious.
Cuando termines a comer, te pongo uno en la casa de Guido.
Listo.
I have
Buenísimo.
no idea what she said
Really?
because that was just my thing. More cake! Ebony, look around here. She's still
Yeah,
got this
this plate
much
is
and
full.
is already asking for more.
Buenísimo.
More cake.
It's delicious. Yeah, you will think this is
Look
a
at
carrot.
Eddie.
It's a carrot cake. You see it from the outside.
It
It's
looks like a carrot
like a
cake.
carrot cake. Yeah.
Now, this is Claudia's grandmother, and she is from Venezuela. And this is Cloud's
Celebrity.
double cousin,
Double cousin.
Elsa.
Very important.
Elisa.
Elisa.
Elise.
The double cousin.
I want to call her Elsa because that's what I hear
All the
every
time. I know.
from
the kids.
From the kids is Elsa, Elsa, Elsa. So I'm gonna have to call you Elsa.
Dying to try this cake.
Oh, okay. And can I tell you something else? Oh, excuse me.
Está buena.
Elise.
Sa.
Elisa.
Elisa.
Or Elisa.
She is a conductor. I'd never met a conductor, y'all. She, the family, she would never tell me that, but they say she's famous in Venezuela. She is the only female conductor in her country. So she's famous and everybody knows her, and now I'm so glad I know her.
No, I'm glad to be here and to eat your cake. It's
I need
it's
your
such
cake.
a great honor.
Oh, honey, it's an honor to
You
have
made
you.
a celebrity.
Thank
Get
you
a
very
cake.
much.
You want
Do you
cake?
want cake?
You're welcome. Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.